Sophie's small hand clutched Emma's sleeve. Why don't you have a fancy car like the other mommies? The sting of the innocent question tightened Emma's throat. She smoothed the child's hair, hiding the truth shimmering between them like heat haze. I could buy them all. As the daughter of Harrison Industries CEO, Emma had grown up with privilege, but she had chosen to work as a nanny to gain real-world experience before eventually joining the family business. Miss Emma, can you help me with this puzzle? Lily asked, holding up a piece that didn't seem to fit anywhere. Of course, sweetheart. Sometimes we need to try different approaches before we find the right solution. Emma had discovered that working with children required creativity, patience, and problem-solving skills that her business education hadn't taught her. More importantly, she had learned to find joy in simple moments, in genuine connections, rather than the competitive corporate environment she had grown up around. David appeared in the doorway, dressed casually in khakis and a white shirt, preparing to leave for his job as a software engineer at a mid-sized tech company. Girls, I'll be back around 6. Emma, there's money for lunch on the counter if you decide to take them out. We'll be fine, Mr. Patterson. The girls and I were planning to visit the park this afternoon. Emma had been careful to maintain appropriate boundaries with David, though she had grown to respect his dedication to his daughters and his efforts to balance work with single parenthood. She knew he struggled financially, carefully budgeting for childcare and activities while ensuring the girls never felt deprived. Miss Emma, Sophie said as David left, why don't you have a fancy car like some of the other mommies at school? Emma paused, realizing that her attempt to blend into a middle-class lifestyle had been successful, perhaps too successful. Some people have different amounts of money, Sophie. What matters is that we take good care of each other. But you're really smart, Daddy says. Smart people usually have lots of money. Emma smiled at the child's logic. Being smart means different things. Your daddy is very smart, and he uses his intelligence to create computer programs that help people. That's worth more than having fancy things. As the weeks passed, Emma found herself genuinely caring about David and his daughters in ways that had nothing to do with her original plan to gain work experience. She loved the girls' bedtime stories, their excited chatter about school, and their innocent observations about the world around them. One afternoon while the girls napped, David came home early from work looking worried. Emma, I need to tell you something. The company is going through layoffs and my position might be eliminated. I wanted to give you advance notice in case I can't afford to keep you on. Emma felt her heart sink, not because of the job security, but because she had grown to care deeply about this family's well-being. David, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? You've already done more than you know. You've given the girls stability and care, and you've allowed me to focus on work without worrying about them. I just hate that this situation might disrupt their routine. That evening, Emma made a decision that would change everything. She called her father and asked to meet him for dinner to discuss something important. Dad, I need to tell you about the work I've been doing. Charles Harrison listened as Emma described her experience as a nanny, her growing attachment to the Patterson family, and her concerns about David's job situation. Emma, you've been working as a nanny for 3 months without telling me. I wanted to understand what it means to work for a living, to be responsible for someone else's children, to earn my way in the world. And what have you learned? I've learned that the most meaningful work isn't always the most profitable. I've discovered that I love helping families, and I think our company could do more to support working parents. Charles studied his daughter's face, seeing a passion and purpose he had never witnessed when she talked about traditional business roles. Emma, what exactly are you proposing? Harrison Industries should establish a corporate chilled air program, and I think we should consider acquiring or partnering with David's company before they go through layoffs. You want me to make business decisions based on your personal attachment to your employer. I want you to make business decisions based on good people doing innovative work who just need the right support and resources. 2 weeks later, Emma sat in the Patterson living room watching David read the acquisition offer from Harrison Industries with amazement. Emma, this is incredible. They're not just acquiring the company, they're expanding it and offering promotion opportunities for existing employees. Emma had been dreading this conversation, knowing she would have to reveal her true identity. David, there's something I need to tell you about how this opportunity came about. What do you mean? I'm Emma Harrison. My father is the CEO of Harrison Industries. David stared at her in shock. You're Charles Harrison's daughter, but you're a nanny. I am a nanny and I love this job, but I'm also someone who recognizes that your company does excellent work and deserves better support than you've been getting. Why didn't you tell me who you were? Because I wanted to be valued for my work with your daughters, not my family connections, and because I needed to understand what real work and real relationships look like. Lily and Sophie, who had been coloring nearby, looked up at the adults with confusion. Miss Emma, are you still going to be our nanny? Lily asked with concern. Emma knelt down to their level. Would you like me to keep being your nanny? Yes, both girls replied enthusiastically. Then that's what I'll do, though now I'll be able to help other families too. 6 months later, Emma stood in the newly opened Harrison Industries Family Center, watching children play while their parents worked in the adjacent office building. Her experience as a nanny had led to her designing and managing the company's comprehensive family support program. David had been promoted to head of software development and had become Emma's closest collaborator in creating work-life balance initiatives. Their professional partnership had grown into something more personal as they discovered shared values about family and meaningful work. Emma, David said, as they watched Lily and Sophie play with other children in the center, do you ever regret not telling me the truth from the beginning? Never. If I had told you who I was, you would have treated me differently, and I wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn about myself. What did you learn? I learned that the most valuable work is often the least recognized, that raising children requires skills that no business school teaches, and that money without purpose is meaningless. Emma had discovered that her privileged background could be used to create opportunities for families like David's, rather than simply maintaining existing advantages. The nanny job that had started as a learning experience had become her calling and the foundation for both a career and a family built on authentic love and shared values. If this story of finding purpose through service and authentic connection inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales that remind us how stepping outside our comfort zones can lead to discovering our true calling. Your support helps us continue sharing stories about using privilege to lift others up and finding love through genuine care and shared values.